Hey everybody, welcome to the final part of the Sonic Advance 2 commentary. And for our final zone, Double X, it's a boss rush of every boss that we fought so far. This is also the opportunity I'm going to take to show off Amy, who again, you normally cannot unlock unless you get all the Chaos Emeralds with every other character in the game.
I don't know how comfortable I am with this stage being Double X.
Why did they decide to lock her behind such a fucking stupid unlock requirement? Baffles me.
What were you gonna?
I don't know how comfortable I am with this stage being Double X zone and taking place in a pair of testicles. That's just me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how Eggman has two like orbital satellites in this game because like Egg Utopia is like in a sort of Death Egg like contraption.
I must be a bit weird because I'm picturing the stage select screen in my mind and I'm just like I don't see it. Do I just have a purer soul than you?
Probably, yeah, but
yeah, absolutely.
So okay, I don't mind there being something really cool hidden behind getting all the Chaos Emeralds for every character. Like honestly, isn't that the kind of thing that people want? You know, like we don't want a postcard, we want something neat for getting everything. You know, you wake up after 100%ing life, and then now you can play as Luigi pops up.
For the longest time, though, that was the super form that you can just play in levels, which the advanced games don't let you do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in this game where the Chaos Emeralds are the biggest pain in the ass to collect in this history of the series.
I mean, granted, yes. I mean, I also, maybe this is just me growing up in this era where the super form was only a boss fight thing, and not in the classic era where, you know, you could do it at any time you want, but super form doesn't really do anything for me. Like, it makes the game trivial once you get it, which I mean, I get is the point, but if you're good enough to get all of the Chaos Emeralds and you show your mastery of the game, what you effectively unlock is something that makes the game easier, which doesn't jive with me.
I'll disagree with that because while Supersonic does in fact like jump higher and have invulnerability, the fact that it has that timer element combined with slippery ass control, it honestly makes it more challenging in a different way, even while it offsets like obstacles and stuff.
And I would argue only in a time attack sense, though. If you're like trying to beat your previous time.
If I had a nickel for every time I turned into Supersonic and ran so fast I landed smack dab in a crusher trap that I could not stop myself from dying to, I could buy a house. It's not even that meme where I would only have 2 nickels. I could actually buy a house.
In today's market, you must die in a lot of crusher traps.
It's happened a lot. It's goddamn easy to die.
Maybe it's funny though. Going into, I think another part of it is that, you know, for previous games, your reward for the Chaos Emeralds only really applied when you got all 7. But one thing that I really did like Sonic Superstars for doing, is giving you a reward for every Chaos Emerald by virtue of you unlocking those new maneuvers. Not all of them are useful, granted.
No, I think that's generally a good idea too. Is that you get something as you go, and also these are supposed to be like all powerful emeralds that each holds infinite energy. Like you should be able to do something with just one of them, you know.
I think with the exception of a few characters just getting basic projectile attacks for their 7th emerald power, that all of the powers in Superstars were useful. Some of them were more obviously useful than others, but I think they all had their moments. Like I finished the final boss with Vine and everyone says Vine is useless, so fuck that.
I don't agree.
I disagree a lot, actually. And just having one use of each individual power per checkpoint, rather than like some magic meter that was shared between them, was itself an incentive to use all of the powers, which I appreciate as a design element.
The only one the one I found categorically useless pretty much throughout the entirety was the one that let you see hidden platforms.
Yeah, that one's like the use of that power is literally tied to where you are in any given stage, and that by itself makes it hard. Like, you can't tell if you're in a place where it's useful until you use it. God damn.
Yeah. So get to using it, I guess.
It would be a little bit better if it, like, there was a faint outline of those things, and then you had to use it so that,
like,
to make them tangible, maybe?
Like if there was maybe an echolocation power that was tied to having the power that you could just use for free, that would reveal things like the outline of things. Then you could go through and use your little Chaos Emerald sonar power, and when you saw a place where there's something interesting, you could burn your one use of the power per checkpoint, and that would have probably fixed the whole thing, really. Oh, this boss rush. I will say that, like, I don't mind the idea of a Sonic the Hedgehog boss rush as a concept, but the chase bosses in particular tend to take longer than the classic style Sonic bosses, because you're constantly trying to catch up with the thing and nail it when it's vulnerable. Whereas with classic Sonic bosses, like, the amount of time the boss takes is usually tied more to how well you know the boss.
The only saving grace with the boss rush in this game, and especially on easy mode, is that they only take, I think, like four hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is good for something like this. Like, you don't want to have to do every boss again.
Could you imagine?
8 minutes long, probably.
Yeah. Oh, but I guess the inverse of what we get our only stationary boss.
Oh yeah, this one's piss easy as Cream, because you just stand in the corner and then you
just thwack.
that applies to the other bosses too, though.
Yeah, but so here's the thing: when you're playing as Cream for the other bosses, like, you still do. There still are, like, projectiles you generally have to dodge a little bit. Like, if I remember this correctly, and you stand, like, there, like, in between the left and middle platforms, I don't think it can hit you.
No, the claws will not be able to reach you. The laser only affects the head area, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a free win. Completely.
Yeah. That said, you can make this boss battle monumentally easy if you take the time to get rid of the claws. The claws will not regenerate if you destroy them. And all that's left is the head. The only other thing is that if you're on the rising platforms when they start launching up, you will momentarily get stunned. Which is not the end of the world, especially for, like, the leftmost platform, because you have more than enough time to get the hell out of the way.
Also, the claws can't reach you back there, so it doesn't
the boss literally cannot. Like, I don't understand why the fuck he makes this big ass body, and the only thing that can move is the claws.
Now, I don't hate this.
Yeah, first try.
I don't hate this version of Amy. I do kind of find her boring because she uses Sonic with the hammer to extend her hitbox, which was already what the Insta Shield was. So, you know. Well, I guess she's in the middle of her evolution to Superstars Amy, which is weird because she went to her modern design and then right back to classic. But
the advanced games kind of take place in a weird place in the timeline where it's just like, sometime at some point they fought Eggman again.
Amy has the most inconsistent power scaling in the entire series, and I'm saying inconsistent at the point where it puts Akira Toriyama's power scaling to shame. But, like, she straight up, like, goes from being Sonic Advance, which is Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Advance, which is her being barely able to do anything, to next game, Sonic Heroes, being on par with Sonic, basically, because she has the same exact moveset as Sonic. And then Advance 2, where she's the ultimate unlockable for getting how much is 7 times 4? 28 Chaos Emeralds. And all she can do is be Sonic, but use the hammer to extend her hitbox a little. But if you go back to Classic era now...
Oh, she has ice cream! Oh.
If you go back to Classic era now, her hammer not only lets her spin like Sonic with fucking Caliburn, but is also a double jump.
But this is also the Amy that is literally helpless and gets captured by Metal Sonic and is like, yeah, please help me. So
it's the Amy that exists before Sonic Adventure 1. So am I to believe that Amy, in her classic days, became the most powerful character in the series? And
well, if we believe Sonic Forces, that's an Amy from another dimension. So different Amy.
Well, and
obviously.
then we just got Generations, which went back to the Generations, explanation of different timelines. So this is the same Amy. So she became the most powerful character in the universe, and then I guess she was content and pulled a Gohan and became a homebody and lost all her powers.
Did you edit out the sound for this, John?
Yeah, because I'm actually using the trailer music that a lot of folks heard the first time in the Sonic Mania Collection trailer, which is a beta version of Leaf Force that would go unused. But I really like the track, so I decided to give it some love for the only time I'm actually getting all 7 special rings in the stage.
Yeah, but it's miserable. I want to point out, you have to know exactly where it is.
Yes.
You can see John stopping and, I assume, looking at his map to be
yes.
like, okay.
I am constantly darting my eyes left and right because I have the level map on my second monitor while my gameplay monitor is on my other one.
Given how many of these rings are stuck behind points of no return, how many tries did it take?
So I did one practice run that took 7 minutes.
And all
just
this
yeah.
for a shitty Sonic CD special stage.
I still like this a lot more than the Sonic Advance 1 special stage because that
if these were hard on top of having to do that, because imagine getting to this, all right? This should just give you the Chaos Emerald for beating the stage, period, like that.
I agree, actually.
But imagine if this were as hard as some of the Sonic 2 special stages or you know.
Yeah, because that's a fucked up thing, isn't it? It's you have to go so out of your way to get one shot at the Emerald. And if you fuck it up, you got to do it all over again.
Yeah, so it's good that they're easy, honestly.
The gimmick of this special stage is the Zero from Sonic Adventure 1 chasing after you. I say chasing in air quotes because he's absolutely useless against anyone who can run faster than Sonic Adventure 1 Amy, and was useless against her too. So he just if you're running around the stage, he never leaves the middle of it because he's constantly turning around.
The robot's name is Zero. I think that was more meant as an insult.
No, hold on. Robots named Zero have a pennant for being world-destroying monstrosities, so
not this one. This one's
not. This one is meant to be you're a loser.
I think he's the clunker junker prototype of all the Omega Gamma sort of
series.
That was always the implication. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just got stuck on Amy chasing duty because what else is he good for, really? The only reason you couldn't destroy him as Amy was because she became a homebody and pulled a Gohan, I guess, and couldn't destroy anything.
Beast baby incoming.
So, Cream managed to get all 7 with that one stage,
Huzzah.
And we unlocked the final stage.
Tell me that is not a pair of testicles right now, Lewis.
Are you talking about on the map here?
It's not.
Double X is a pair of balls, yes.
It's a satellite dish with a couple of pods attached to it. That's all I see.
But okay, so we unlocked all the 7. We got all the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and you have to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds with Sonic specifically in order to get the true Area 53, which is the Supersonic exclusive level for this game. This is my personal favorite Supersonic stage. Non-aggression in Sonic Advance 3 comes close because I do like the dynamic of that level. You teaming up with Eggman to fight General, was it? But I love this one too. It's not a very interesting boss battle, but I like the space setup. I love I kind of like low-key like Eggman's shrimp mech here. I think it's a shrimp, maybe a Seepers.
I do wonder what the hell Eggman has against Vanilla the Rabbit though.
Well,
Because
you
Cream
know,
was the most busted character in the game, and he took that personally.
yeah, this game doesn't really do story all that well, honestly. I mean, there are some cute scenes when you meet the characters, but what exactly is going on in this story to set it apart from the other Sonic stories? Absolutely goddamn nothing.
Not
No.
that it's important, granted, but, you know.
This is
Well,
Eggman really
yeah.
fucking hates vanilla for some reason.
But, like, you know, you can say not that it's important, but Adventure 1 and Adventure 3 both handled that element better.
You mean Advance 1? Well, Advance 1 didn't really
Advance
have
1
a
and
story.
He said
either.
Adventure 3, and I was like, when did that?
Well, Advance 1 didn't really have much of a story, but at least it had some sense of continuity to its level progression, you know? At least toward the end, where you go to Sky Sanctuary, you fight a metal Knuckles that Eggman created, and then you're on the egg rocket and shit, and you're climbing up to. It's the kind of basic but effective storytelling that the classic Sonic games were known for, you know. But but in Sonic Advance 3, there's a whole like story scenario that's going on with the Chaos Emeralds and Gemerald.
I hope you played Battle.
Yeah, Sonic Advance 3.
Yeah, Sonic Advance 3 has an actual story.
Yeah, Sonic Advance 3 tries a
Yeah.
lot harder than 2 in that.
Yeah. And like, you don't necessarily need to have played Battle to understand what's going on, because it's enough to know that Eggman has a special robot that he keeps attaching to his boss mechs. But, like, you know, it does help. It connects the game to a bit of continuity. What?
This is the funniest shit to me. Like, I love the ending sequence like of this game. It's because like Super Sonic is trying to hold the capsule for dear life. It breaks apart. He loses his chaos powers, and then oh no, Vanilla's on the verge of falling to death. How is Sonic gonna save her? There's no tornado sequence in this. It's just he saves her just by grabbing her hand.
This is the ending to Tears of the Kingdom.
Man, that game's a lot weirder than I thought it was. Wait, no, Vanilla, can't she fly too? She has ears.
I don't think she can. No, she has ears, but they're not as fucking large as Cream's.
She's bigger than Cream. They look exactly the same otherwise.
I would argue because she's larger than Cream, she probably has more weight. She probably can't get enough flight.
Whatever.
She's really sensitive about that set.
Oh yeah, that is true. I shouldn't imply anything about a lady's weight. That's my bad.
Man, you guys know Windows has this thing that attaches it to your phone and all, and I had it on by mistake. And what happened during the ending, when I was saying, like, at the exact moment I said this is the ending to Tears of the Kingdom, my phone rang because of a spam call, and apparently that automatically pauses VLC. So I was like, wait, is my computer freezing?
Oh shit. What a weird fucking ending though. It's like, it's just Sonic is able to save Vanilla just making sure that like she holds her as they're falling down from
I mean, does Sonic ever take
stratosphere?
fall damage in any game?
No, he doesn't.
Look,
I guess not, but I don't know. It just kind of rings weird in other games where Sonic is saved via the tornado.
well, you know,
Well, I mean, landing on a tornado a couple thousand feet above the air probably wouldn't really impact the fall that much more than landing on the ground.
well,
you know?
The way Sonic 2's ending was animated, it was like, it was supposed to imply that Tails was flying down as he tried to catch Sonic. It's just that the plane could not angle itself to really portray that, so you had to pay special attention to the way the parallax scrolling is working. Yeah, you have proved the justice of our culture, Sonic. Good job.
What? Sonic said as he ran off into the horizon. Yeah, but despite how much of a pain in the fucking ass it takes to get to True Area 53, I do love the ending bit with this. I love that supersonic fight. I love that song more than anything. I just love everything about the finale of Sonic Advance 2. It's just pity. It's dog shit to get to.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into those last scenes. I'm just like, why did Eggman decide to tie Cream's mother to the train tracks in the sky? for some reason. Just like,
twirling his evil mustache.
what was Eggman's end game there? Why? Like, it would be one thing if it was bait to lure Sonic into the Sonic Unleashed Supersonic trap or something, but why?
I don't know. Well, that's going to call it a wrap for Sonic Advance 2. We're not going to immediately get to Sonic Advance 3 because I did not record that. I refused. I don't like that game. And I don't think it'd be fair to Sonic Advance 3 if I was in charge of recording it. I mean, with enough practice, I can pretend I enjoy it. But I just think let someone else that actually likes the game play it because I don't want to.
I'll do it if you don't mind waiting for it.
Yeah, well, my point is that we're not going to immediately follow up with Sonic Advance 3. We're just doing the first 2 games right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit before SA3.
Because I do genuinely like Sonic Advance 3.
Yeah.
It's rough in areas, but I like the unique things that it does.
Yeah. No, to each his own. But that's where we're going to leave it off there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Look at me trying to give a BrainScratch part an actual outro. This is so fucking weird. Look at this end screen. You can click on all the videos by clicking on those buttons there.